Alright, what is going on, guys? So, got a bit of a snow day again today. So I can't go fishing, but probably about a week ago now, I put a post on my community page on YouTube saying I'd do a Q&A when I got a chance. So, now's my chance. Can't really go fishing when it's like this. So, we're going to answer the questions. I've had 58 comments on that. I've not actually looked at them. I wanted to keep it like a surprise. So I see them as I do this Q&A sort of thing. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. Hopefully there's some good questions. Try keep it as interesting as I can. Probably not that easy when it's just me sat in an empty room talking to you, but we'll try our best. So, get right into it. Right, top question. I get this quite a lot actually. Kev Jensen, when are we going out for a day's piking? Probably soon. I know where you fish and you know where I fish, so we can probably meet up at some point. But yeah, I get loads of people asking me if I can go fishing with them and stuff like that. But I don't really have the time to go fishing with everyone. If there are a lot of people interested, I might try set up like a day where you get, a set day where I meet a load of people and we go fish a certain venue. So if anyone's interested in that, leave a comment. I might try and make that happen. Might be a bit hard, but try to figure it out anyway. So yeah, that's the first question. Next one from Chris Devon. I'm not very good at names, by the way, so apologies. But yeah, hi Dan. While the rivers are high and flowing fast at the moment, what tips do you have for these tricky conditions? I kind of just stick to the margins when it's flowing a lot faster. The fish are either going to be pushed into slacks or pushed right into the edge. So they're not going to be in the middle of the flow. So if you're on a straight river with no slacks, I fish in the margins, nice noisy bait. And if you find some slack areas, some back eddies and stuff like that, great places to target them as well. So yeah, that's it really. Usually the rivers are usually coloured as well when they're flowing fast. So noisy baits, darker baits. If it's a bright day, dark baits. If it's a very cloudy day, bright baits. And yeah, just slow roll and hope that you get it in front of a fish. Margins and slacks and back eddies. That's what I'll say for that one. Right, next question from Mick Ward. How much extra faff is it to film yourself as well as catch fish? I can't imagine that it would be easy because just taking the kit to fish with can be an absolute ball ache. So taking fishing equipment on top of that can't make fishing any easier. Well, for me, it's not that bad at all. I just put my GoPro on and then just fish like normal. The only thing I do different is talk while I'm fishing. So it might look a bit weird when people see me talking to myself while I'm fishing, but yeah. So yeah, GoPro goes on and then I just fish like normal. If I get a decent fish that I want to take a picture of, this tripod that I'm using now, so I can't really show it to you, but fold up tripods in my bag, I just put my phone on that and that's it. I don't have a big camera that I carry with me or drones or anything that a lot of people have. I like to keep things very, very simple. You probably can tell from the videos, but yeah, not much extra effort for me, to be fair. If you wanted to make good videos, like mine are not very good, if you wanted to make good videos, you probably need to take a lot of stuff, bigger cameras, drones, spend time getting B-roll, but I'm not really bothered about that sort of thing. So yeah, it's not any different. I put my GoPro on when I start and then it's just fishing. So yeah, not much extra effort for me, but thanks for the question. Dr. Frankenstein wants to know if I ship my lures to the USA. Yeah, I ship worldwide off my website. Just doing a restock now if anyone wants one. dbfishing.co.uk. I think my international shipping's like $2.99 on small things and $4.99 on bigger items. So yeah, I don't know how much it'll cost, but yeah, that's how much it's set out on the website anyway. Luke Howells wants to know if I can make some smaller lures. Really wants to try some pedal tails, but his rod will only go up to 45 grams. I'll try actually make some smaller lures. It's just like finding the time to make a mold, perfect them, and then like all this. So yeah, it does take a lot of time, but once I've got the time, I'm definitely planning on. So my lure's like 24 centimeters. I'm planning on doing an 18 and then even like a perch sized one as well. So yeah, definitely I'll be making some smaller lures. Mr. B says, how often do you go fishing and typically how long? It depends on the time of year. This time of year, probably once a week for about 4 or 5 hours. Summer, spring, autumn, I'll go twice a week, maybe, probably 3 hours max, usually about 2 hours a session. Sometimes, like, that's if I'm working. If I've got a week off work, I'll obviously go like 4 or 5 times and just nail it. But yeah, if I'm working full time, I'm not getting out that much. 5 hours a week, maybe 6 hours. I do a full day, but I just kind of get bored. So yeah, I don't do massively long sessions unless I'm boat fishing. So yeah, summer, short sessions, first light lasts like 2 hours. And then at this time of year, I'll do 4 or 5 hours in a day, and then I'll only get out once a week. So that's a bit annoying, but it's getting warmer soon, so I'll be able to do my short sessions again. Another question from Pavel. Hi Dan, where can we meet you while you are fishing? I'm fishing in the same county that I live in. And it'd be great to fish with you again. I'll try organise a meetup if people are interested in that. It'd be good fun. Catch up with you guys in person. And yeah, try organise that. I need to find somewhere where I could do it, obviously, but would be cool. Next question. How many fish do you catch every year, roughly? I've never tracked it, but actually this year I've started keeping a diary of how many fish I catch. But it's really hard to put a figure on it. Like, some months I know I do like 50, 60 fish in a month easily. And then there's other months where it's like 10 fish. Like January, I only caught 7 pike in January, but I only got out like twice. So yeah, it's hard. But this year I'm keeping a diary of it. So I will be, at New Year's, I'll be able to put a video out telling you how many fish I've caught, what the best months were. So I think that'll be pretty cool. But I'd probably say about 300 pike. I don't really catch many big ones. I only really target smaller fish because my goal is like making videos. So I'd rather catch like 4 or 5 fish, make a decent length video than just catch one fish, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I'd say around about 300 a year. But New Year next year, I'll be able to let you know anyway. Matt Wooldridge, another local angler. Has the amount of fish you catch since you have moved house, I'm guessing he means increased. Has the amount of fish you catch since you've moved house increased, and are the venues better? I wouldn't say the amount of fish I catch, but I think I catch better fish where I live now. I moved like a year and a half ago now, if anyone didn't know, from somewhere about an hour away to where I live now. There's a lot more water around here to cover, so I just fish new places like quite often. I'd say that, yeah, the amount of fish is about the same, but they're definitely better fish. But maybe I'm just getting better at catching better fish, finally. But yeah, about the same volume, but slightly bigger. But depending on the venues, I kind of figured out which venues hold better fish and stuff like that as well. Whereas where I lived before, I had one canal that I fished all the time, and that's like all I had local, really. So yeah, it's better. I prefer living up here, definitely. He also says, where do you live so I can rob your shed? No, not allowed. Louis Martin, what type of fishing did you start doing? I started when I was a kid. My dad was a fly fisherman, and my granddad did sea fishing. So my granddad used to have a caravan at the coast, so he'd take us sea fishing when we stayed with him there. My dad sometimes took us fly fishing, but also took us like coarse fishing for roach and stuff like that when we was like 7, 8, 9. Kind of stopped fishing for a bit after that. Maybe when I was a teenager, I think my brother started getting into pike fishing. So I started going with him because I enjoyed it more. I didn't really like sitting with a float or whatever. Started pike fishing with him, did that for a couple of years. Then he moved on to carp fishing, and I wasn't interested in that. So when he stopped pike fishing, I kind of stopped as well. And then probably when I was about 20, so like 9 years ago now, started going out pike fishing on my own again. And yeah, just kept doing that. I've never actually caught a carp in my life, so it's not something I've ever been interested in. So yeah, it's more, since I was a teenager, I've only really predator fished and sea fishing. I like sea fishing, but I live like 2 hours from coast, so can't really do that much. But yeah, good question. What has been your most memorable fishing moments? From Harry Kenworth. Harry Kenworthy, sorry. The most memorable is when I went to Sweden the year before last year. I went with River Piker, and then like a couple of my mates, and then a few other guys were there. There was like 12 of us fishing the archipelago on boats. It was like the best fishing experience I've ever had in my life. It was so good. Like we didn't catch like an insane amount of fish, probably like 5 or 6 a day, but like the scenery, like bombing around like 50 knots in these boats, seeing eagles and like listening to moose and everything just in the middle of nowhere, like it's so good. Like just the experience, not even just the fishing, the experience of being out there, staying in like a classic wooden Swedish house and eating Swedish food and everything. Yeah, it was so good. That's definitely my most memorable fishing moment. And a lot of the sea fishing I do as well is really, like, when I go rock fishing on the coast in Wales, like, that's stuff that really sticks with me. Like, I do enjoy the pike fishing that I do around here, but, like, I do it that much. It's all sort of blends in together, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, specifically Sweden, that's, like, my most memorable. So good. River Piker's got a video on his channel from that trip. You see a few clips of me in there, like, catching some fish and that. Yeah, we're good. Definitely want to do that again when we're allowed to travel. So yeah, definitely Sweden and sea fishing, really. Like my pike fishing is, I do it every day. Not every day. It's what I do all the time though. So yeah, not that memorable, but Sweden was amazing. Reaperman asks, what is your favourite lure right now and what is your favourite venue to fish? It's hard with the favourite lure because I don't stick with lures for a long, like there's lures that I really like, but I like force myself not to fish with them because I don't want to make the same videos all the time fishing with the same lures, if you get what I mean. But I really like the Savage Gear Goby Shad. I've started using them recently. They're really good. 20 centimetre and 23 centimetre. I do enjoy fishing with those a lot. Third favourite for a long time, 14 centimetre Ricky Roach from Westin Swim. And yeah, they're ones that I always go back to, the Ricky the Roach and the Westin Swim. Others, you know, I'll use for a video and they're really good, but then I kind of force myself not to use them again, if you know what I mean. So I'm not making like the same videos over and over again. But yeah, I'd probably say like Ricky the Roach and Westin Swim. They're not big lures, but they do catch a lot of fish. So yeah, they're probably like the standout lures that I go back to a lot. Adam Ski 22 asks, what was your weirdest catch? It doesn't have to be a fish. Mine was a bag full of tampons. Thought they had a whale on the event. So, yeah, I've not caught a bag full of tampons, to be honest with you. I've caught a condom before though, so that was pretty weird. And I've hooked a dead cow before as well. I didn't know it was there. I cast down a margin, hooked into something solid, couldn't unhook it, walked down to unsnag it, and it was hooked into a dead cow. So yeah, that happened. And the weirdest fish I've caught, I'd never heard of it at the time. I was sea fishing on Filey Brig, which is like on the east coast of Yorkshire. I was just fishing with a little yellow swim bait thing. Just in the edge trying to catch like pollock or wrasse or whatever. Hooked this dead weight, like just felt like a rock on the end. Lifted it up and it was just like this lump. I'll put a picture of it on here. It was just like a lump like that. It just didn't have anything about it. It was just no fins or anything. Just a solid lump of fish. It was called a top knot. So yeah, I never heard of them until then. That was probably my weirdest fish I've caught anyway. Yeah, apart from that, just normal fish. So yeah, top knot's my weirdest fish, and probably weirdest catch is a condom or a dead cow. So, can you recommend a good pike rod, reel, line to use for pike fishing, preferably not over 100 to 150 pound all in? It's a pretty broad question. I probably will do a video on it at some point because I get asked this quite a lot. And I think all you need to do is figure out what weight lures you're wanting to use and whether you want a fixed spool or a casting rod. So if you want a bait casting rod, easy, Abu Pro Max or Abu Black Max, 15 to 40 gram. You cover a lot of lures. You can cast your Ricky the Roaches, your Western Swims, decent 15 centimetre size lures. So you're covering like a good basis with that for a casting rod. For a fixed spool rod, again, you can get a fixed spool is quite cheaper, to be honest with you. You can get a rod for like £30, a reel for about £30, and then stick some braid on. Braid's probably the most important thing, really. Nice. Make sure it's 8-strand braid if you're lure fishing with heavy braid. 4-strand, you're going to get more wind knots and it's thicker. So yeah, definitely 8-strand braid. Brand's not hugely important. Like your big ones, Power Pro is popular, but you get a lot of fakes. I never liked Power Pro, to be honest with you. Spiderwire Stealth is what I used to use a lot. Savage Gear Silencer is what I use now. Berkeley Whiplash, a lot of people like that. So yeah, they're like your big 8-strand bronze. J-braid ×8 as well, good braid. And if you're fishing fixed spool, I'd probably go for about £40 line. Baitcaster, depending on the size of your baitcaster, a small one like a Pro Max, I'd go like £40 to £50 line. A bigger baitcaster like what I use, £80. So yeah, just figure out your casting weight. Just go on Google, type in either bait casting setup or spinning rod, casting weight, whatever you want, and then you'll find it. They're all pretty good, to be fair, unless it's like a tenner. So yeah, hope that it's kind of a broad question, so it's hard to answer, but I hope that helps anyway. Lewis Coupland said he received some lures that I sent to him and he can't wait to try them. So hope you catch some fish on them. Doing a restock, like I probably already said, right now. So check the link in the description if you want to buy some. What is your funniest fishing experience from NFS Drifting? Probably again when I was in Sweden. It's in River Pike's video. But I was fishing. He's filming it on his GoPro. Taps the back of my rod just as I get to the end of the cast. I think I've got a fish. Whip it out. Like my lure misses Neil's head, who's behind me, by about 6 inches. So yeah, that's probably it. I've fallen in quite a few times as well, so that's always fun. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Yeah, I'd probably say that in Sweden is all I can think of really when Neil whacked a wheel Neil with my lure in his head.
Oh, what you? I actually felt like a fish there. Yeah, back to it,
It's too triple. Oh, funny. The old little rod tap trick. Whoa.
What is the best way to kill your live bait after you've caught it and want to use it for dead bait pike fishing? I'm not the best person to ask for that because I don't do live baiting or really dead baiting. So yeah, can't really answer that question. RHB Outdoors wants to know if I'm shipping to the US as well. Yeah, I do shipping to the US on my website. Bo Moore wants to know if I can do a video making jerk baits. Yeah, I can do that. I'm hoping to start making jerk baits again soon. Anyway, I made some probably like 2 years ago. They were pretty good, but they were like really chunky. So yeah, I'll probably make some more slimline ones next time. Where are you from and where do you fish? I live in Yorkshire, England, and I fish accessible waters for me, really. I don't fish anywhere special. Like, I don't travel that far to fish. I just fish my local waters, and wherever I lived, I'd do that. I wouldn't travel that much to fish unless it were travelling to sea fish, obviously. But yeah, I've always done that. Like, a lot of people ask where I fish, and I just fish what's convenient to me. I don't go to places that I specifically know have got good fishing. I go to places that are convenient. So yeah, I'm not telling you exactly where I fish, but that's it. And same person, Balloon Ed 100, asks, have you ever caught a zander? I have caught a zander. I've fished for zander 3 times, I think, and I've caught zander every time. So first time I fished for zander, fishing on Rutland with my brother, and we had 16 between us, which was pretty good. The next time was on a canal in the Midlands. I can't remember what it was called. I think I had 3. I just drove up on my own because I wanted to catch a zander. Caught 3. And then I caught them in Sweden as well. That was pretty good. So yeah, I've caught a zander. Biggest one was 75 centimetres. So I don't know what it weighed, but decent size. Which month of the year do pike spawn in England? Depends on the weather and depends on the venue, to be honest with you. Shallow venues, I'd probably say March, early March. Deeper ones, you're probably looking at April. But they only spawn for a couple of days. So if you see them spawning, just go fish somewhere deeper or somewhere they've already spawned. Like, I think last year they were quite late to spawn, but the year, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they were spawning like early March, sorry, which was like mad early, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, it totally depends on the weather. Like now it's February, it's like 0 degrees and snowing, so the water temperature is going to be cold. So that's got to come up from 0 nearly, it's like frozen, to 6 degrees at least before they start spawning. So yeah, just depends on the weather. March to April, I'd say though. Sometimes February if it's really shallow and warms up fast, but March and April. Have you ever took your rottie fishing? I've took them. I've got a Rottweiler and a Labrador. I took them with me once, and the Labrador jumped straight in, so they've never been again. But the Rottie's got cancer now, unfortunately, so she's pretty like not very good on her feet, so she doesn't really go for long walks or anything anymore. So yeah, can't really take them to the canal or anything anymore. They just like go around block now. So yeah, there've been ones. Rottie were alright, but my Labrador just jumped straight in. So next question from Ben. If you could only use 3 fishing lures for the rest of your life, what lures would they be? That's a tough question. If presuming that we're pike fishing, I'd probably say Westin Swim, Westin Ricky the Roach, and probably Savage Gear Goby Shad, to be fair. I think most lures you can catch if you want to. So yeah, it's just what you've got confidence in. And right now in my head, they're probably like the 3 I've got the most confidence in for most conditions anyway. So yeah, Savage Gear Goby Shad, Westin Swim, or 14cm Ricky the Roach. What would be the best time of day to go surface fishing? And is the Medusa any good for pike fishing? I've seen you have one in your shed and I was just wondering what it's like action-wise. Best time of day, in my opinion, is first light or last light. Or if you've got a very overcast day, any time of day. But yeah, first light or last light through the summer and spring is like killer for top water. And the Medusa is, I paid like 50 quid for that to get it shipped over from America. I used it once, didn't catch anything, but I'm hoping to get out this year with it again. So I'll let you know on that. But yeah, I've not caught any fish on it yet. So yeah, it's pretty cool action now. The legs kick off some right vibration, but I only used it once. So what is your favourite type of lure to use? Depends on the season. This time of year, big shad, slow rolling. Through summer, jerk baits, or through summer, spring, autumn really, jerk baits, glide baits, anything that I'm twitching with my rod tip. But yeah, this time of year I'm just slow rolling. So yeah, again, depending on the season. I don't like using spinner baits. I just find them a bit boring. But yeah, jerk baits, a lot of fun when the fish are active, and when they're not, just big soft baits. Still fun to use because you can put your own action into them still, but definitely better when the fish are a bit lazier. What do you do as your day job? Well, until well, this video is going up next Sunday, so until from last Friday, I was a postman. I've been a postman for like 8 years, so yeah, full-time postman. But I actually left that on Friday, and I'm starting. There's a new building site opening up. Oh, sorry about the sniffling. There's a new building site opening up just like down the road, and I've got a job on there building. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully I'll be able to do YouTube and that full time one day. That'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, I've been a postman all the time. I've been doing my YouTube channel, which was pretty good. Because you can finish quite early. You get a midweek day off as well. But yeah, I kind of got sick of it, so I fancied a change. So I quit that, and now I'm going to be a builder. So yeah, that's it. What is your favourite rod and reel? It's kind of an hard question, to be honest, that one. For pike fishing, big pike fishing, reel-wise, Komodo, Akuma Komodo. I've always liked that. I've only really bought Akuma reels because I've always liked them so much. In terms of rods, I don't think I've ever had a rod that I'm like really like in love with, if you know what I mean. They've all been pretty good, but yeah, I'm quite happy with the setup I have now. It's like the old Savage Gear swim bait rod. They don't make them anymore, but it's a nice rod to use. If you're only a little bit longer and a little bit softer, it'd be perfect. But I don't really have a favourite rod, I wouldn't say. I haven't tried them all yet. I need to try all the rods and then I'll let you know. Best tip for targeting mid-sized perch, 1 to 2 pound, without using Z-Man lures and jigs, i.e. crankbaits and spinners. I'm not very good at catching big perch, but from my limited experience, jerkbaits seem to pick out, thinking like Savage Gear Shadow Wrap style, sort of 9cm jerkbaits like that. If you're not wanting to fish jigs on the bottom, I've had quite a few like 40cm plus fish on lures like that. And like, you don't want to use jigs, so yeah, jerkbaits. I've never really liked using crankbaits. I found them a bit boring, but yeah, jerkbaits. A lot of people call them crankbaits in this country, but you know, you're working with a rod tip. Like say Rapala Shadow Wrap 9cm, Shadow Wrap Shad, sorry. Savage Gear Gravity Twitch, like 8cm, I think. So stuff like that is what I'd recommend. But again, I'm not very good at perch fishing, so yeah, hope that helps anyway. How much time do you think you spend on fishing in your life right now? I probably fish 5 or 6 hours a week. I edit videos, if that's counted as well. Edit videos, make lures, like look at fishing pictures on Instagram and look at lures all the time and everything. So it's kind of hard to answer. Maybe 20 hours a week, something like that. Like I work 40 hours a week. I like to spend time with my family as well. And then any time apart from that is I'll spend on fishing. So yeah, probably like 20 hours a week, something like that. Quite a lot, to be fair. Where do you live again? Yorkshire. What net would you recommend for pike fishing around the 40 to 50 pound range? Savage Gear folded nets. They're around 40 pound, I think. The one I've got at the minute was really cheap. Advanta. I think it's called Advanta from Angling Direct. That was like 30 quid. It's pretty good. And I had a Gray's boat net that I quite liked until I broke it, and that were only 30 pound as well. But no, it's hard to like answer that without bringing up a web page and looking through it myself. I usually just, if I want to find something, I'll just Google it and just look on loads of different websites, compare pricing and everything. Usually can find something like that way. What is the biggest fish you have caught? Probably the biggest fish is the biggest pike, which is not that big, but 109 centimeters. Yeah, that's probably it. I've caught a bull huss about the same length, but it was nowhere near as heavy. But yeah, I don't really catch that many big fish. So yeah, 109cm pike is the biggest. What baitcaster rod and reel would you suggest on a budget? Okay for pike fishing. Abu Garcia Black Max or Pro Max, like 60 quid bargain, like really good setups. I had one for like 3 years, caught pike up to £16 on it. So yeah, no problem with that. Favourite lure to use again, probably again Western Swim or Ricky the Roach. Do you crush your barbs or leave them? I leave my barbs on. I'm planning on doing a trial. I want to try barbed fishing, catch or get 20 hits on lures, see how many hook and land out of that, and I'm going to try the same with barbless, and then we can compare how they are, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I leave my barbs. I don't mind them, to be fair. Hi mate, are you having any days out fishing and not catching at all? Seems like all you do is catch. I do blank occasionally, but I do catch the majority of my sessions, to be fair. If I'm going to blank, I'll know I'm going to blank already, or I know there's going to be a good chance of blanking anyway. It's kind of hard to explain, but I can pretty much judge what venues on what days I should be fishing by the weather and everything, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I usually do manage to catch. I'll blank maybe like 1 in 10 sessions. At this time of year, it's probably more like 1 in 5 blank, but through summer, yeah, 1 in 10 sessions maybe I'll blank. But yeah, not that much, usually do catch, so yeah. What type of venue would you rather fish for pike? Canals, rivers, lakes or reservoirs, small ponds, etc.? Which one would you pick, and tell me why you prefer to fish that kind of venue? Shallow lakes and reservoirs I like fishing. So like 2 metre deep, clear water. So much fun. You tend to get a lot of jacks in places like that, so you can have some really good sessions. Like, get a lot of fish. You know, you can get on a boat, fish with shallow lures right up in the edges, or you can wade or whatever. Yeah, venues like that, I really do like fishing. I don't have any near me at the minute, so can't fish them that much. But yeah, I do like shallow lakes. Shallow, clear water lakes, because it's more fun. I don't like fishing deep water. I find it boring and hard, so I don't do it. But yeah, I like fishing shallow. Shallow water definitely is more fun in my opinion. Especially because you can see pike bow waving up on your lures and that. You can fish top water a lot better. So yeah, that's shallow water, shallow lakes. How would you fish a canal with a max depth of 3 meters where the fish don't tend to rise in the water to attack the lure? Probably use jig flies in a place like that. If you want to choose a larger bait, or fish a jig on a jig head. Like, yeah, you've said most fish have come to jigging. Definitely, I'd stick with that. Jig flies or 15 centimeter, 10 centimeter jig, stuff like that. So yeah, jig flies definitely worth a try. Fish them really slow at this time of year, or you can put a bit more weight on them in summer, fishing fast, but keep them down on the bottom as well. So yeah, give jig flies a go. Why don't you come to the Netherlands for pike fishing? I do want to come to the Netherlands to fight pike fish, to be honest. I can get the ferry from where I live's like 40-minute drive, and then I'm there. So yeah, we're not allowed to travel at the minute, but when we can, I'll definitely be coming over. So you've got some good waters over there, definitely. Best bait and tactic for catching big perch? Not my area of expertise. So I can't really answer, apart from based on other people's things. You know, if you look on Facebook at people like Adam Seeley and that catching big perch all the time, it's always Texas rigged, creature baits, 10 centimetre, 9 centimetre, shad thought sort of things. So yeah, bigger baits really. If I'm perch fishing, I tend to stick to smaller stuff because I like catching a lot of fish. But yeah, fish bigger baits, 8, 9, 10 centimetre, even bigger, and you catch bigger fish. Will you be doing more sea fishing content? Definitely. Like, I wanted to do more this year, but we weren't allowed to travel for most of the year, so yeah, I didn't get as much done as I wanted, but yeah, I will definitely be doing more. Love sea fishing. It's like, lure fishing in the sea I probably prefer more than pike fishing, to be fair. I just don't live near the sea, so I can't do it as much. What lure box you use for your large lures? I've got a Savage Gear box. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's like Savage Gear boat box or something like that. Number 9, like the biggest size they do. Good box, fit as many baits as I need to take with me in that box. So yeah, just search Savage Gear lure box. You'll probably see it. The biggest size that they do. £100 recommend a good baitcaster rod and reel for a beginner with the money left over for line, lures, etc. £100 Abu Garcia Black Max combo, 60 quid. Daiwa J Braid 8 strand, £46. That's about 16 quid, so you're at £76. And then leader, buy a pack of leaders for about £4. So then you've got £20 left for lures. Whatever you'd like, really. It's hard to. It depends what you're into. I'd probably get, if you only got £20, don't buy a box of cheap lures. Buy 2 good ones. Buy a jerk bait for about a tenner and a swim bait or paddle tail shad for about a tenner as well. And then you're laughing. That's all you need for a starter. Just them 2 lures. Just don't snag them. What is the biggest pike you've ever caught and what did you catch it on? It was 109 centimetres, put a picture of it here, and it was on one of my homemade lures in a big yellow colour. So yeah, that was sweet. It was my first prototype. Wasn't swimming right, so I bit some chunks out of the tail to get it kicking more. Cast it out, bang, PB pike. That were about 4 years ago and it's still my PB now. It's crazy. I need to beat that. If you could only use one lure for pike for the rest of your life, what would it be? Probably go Westin Ricky the Roach. Best venue you have ever fished for any species? Swedish archipelago. All day for pike. So much fun blasting around in those boats. And the scenery is immense, just like, yeah, Swedish archipelago. So much better than what we fish over here. Dream UK fish to catch any species. I want to catch a sea bass. I've never caught a sea bass. And for size wise, I'd like to catch a perch over £4 as well, which is like probably never happened, but yeah, sea bass. I want to catch a sea bass this year. Anyone want to take me sea bass fishing? Let me know. Best piece of tackle that you have ever used? It's a hard question, that. I'd probably say the best thing I've got, it's not expensive, it's not something that you specifically need, but you'll have seen it in my videos, the Rapala roller ruler, where it's like on a roll, pull it out and measure the fish. That's like, I love that thing. It's, yeah, it makes measuring fish so easy, packs away light, and yeah, I take that everywhere with me. Even if I don't have my scales, I've got that and I can just get a quick measurement of a fish. Like, yeah, that, I don't even know if they make them anymore, but yeah, I think it's Rapala RDC or RCD roller ruler. So good. It's not like a proper tackle or anything, I suppose, but I love that thing. What is the biggest pike you've ever seen in real life? Probably the 109 I caught myself. I've not seen that many big fish, to be fair. I don't specifically go out targeting big fish. I'd love to see like Linda says, the biggest he's seen is 135.5 centimetres, which I can't even imagine a fish that size. I'd love to see something like that. So yeah, maybe one day. Someone says, did you got a wife? Not yet. I'm actually getting married in October. So yeah, I'll have a wife in October. I'm engaged at the minute. If you have to fish for one single fish for the rest of your life and it cannot be pike, what would it be? Wrasse. yeah, wrasse are super fun to catch. Put up such a good fight for the size, such powerful fish, and yeah, the way you fish for them on the coast, fun. So yeah, wrasse. If you could share a lake boat with anyone in the world, who would it be? One Rod, One Reel is my favourite YouTuber, so it'd be him. One Rod. He doesn't really make videos anymore, but yeah, One Rod, One Reel. Funny guy. How name's the dog? What is my dog's name, I'm guessing? My Rottweiler's called Faff, and Labrador's called Charlie. Last question from Daniel. He's asked it a few times, but he's not got the answers. Sorry, I don't reply to all the comments. I don't have the time. I wish I could, I promise, but it takes such a long time. But it says asked it before. How big is your PB canal pike, and what lure did it take? It was on a Western swim. I can't remember exactly what it weighed. It was 18 or 19 pound, I think it was, on a Western swim. So yeah, I've caught quite a few, like 16, 17, 18, but I've never cracked over that with canal fish. It's weird, but yeah, that's the last question anyway. Hopefully I'll be able to get out and make some good videos for you soon. Hopefully that's helped me anyway. If anyone wants to see like a live stream, I might do one like every month or whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, if anyone wants to see that, let me know. But yeah, that's the Q&A. Took 45 minutes to answer all those questions. Jesus. But yeah, that's it. So don't forget to check out the web store if you want to. I'll do one of these again if you want. And if anyone's interested in the meetup, like I said, we'll try and get it organised. So yeah, thanks for watching if you've managed to watch all the way through to the end. And I'll catch you guys next time.